Good afternoon, everyone. Well, it's your boy Rex back with another video here. Just an update of part of my day, the day-to-day hustle. I've got this Range Rover engine. It's a 3.0 supercharged motor. Um, we had a little bit of running of this engine here. Just got it out of a customer's vehicle, and vehicle came in overheating. So we tried to attempt to fix it, put it back in the customer's vehicle. We send the cylinder heads out, have the heads machined, have the machine shop check the heads for any warpage or any cracks or anything like that. They did a total full valve job on it. I kind of think I got screwed on the valve job. Anyhow, we put it back together, and we found out that we had a misfire on cylinder number 4 and cylinder number 5 on the passenger side of the engine. Um, we couldn't rectify it while it was in the vehicle, and it was just too much work to tear it down and tear it apart, open it back all up again to diagnose the vehicle. So, in order to solve that problem, what we went out and did, we went out and got another motor, um, and put that motor back in that Range Rover so the customer could take it. Um, we didn't find a motor in the junkyard. We had to go and purchase a vehicle that was running with low mileage and take that engine out of that motor, out of that vehicle, and put it in the customer's vehicle, satisfy the customer. So now we're left with the task of actually trying to figure out what went wrong with the rebuild. Because this engine, when the vehicle came with it in the previous Range Rover, it was not running. She overheated the motor until to the point where the vehicle wouldn't even start. So we opened it up initially, and we saw the head gaskets were completely burned. So we figured we can just get away by doing a valve job on it, putting new head gaskets and stuff like that. However, we thought that we might have had, but because it overheated so much, that it's possible that the cylinder heads could be warped on it. So we went ahead and had the machine shop shape the cylinder head, straighten it out, and do all the necessary steps. The only thing that they didn't do, which I think was kind of cocky, as far as I know, when you do a valve job, you should sandblast everything first. And that way when you give it back to the customer can have a finished product, which would look like it just came off of a store shelf or whatever, right? All the internals were done, but not the sandblasting. It's a half-ass valve job, if you ask me. I would have been better off not sending the valves out, sending the cylinder heads out to have the valves checked or whatever. Anyhow, so we're gonna tear it back down apart and see if we could figure out the reason why we have a misfire in number 4 and 5 cylinders. Whether it's the bent valve, the valve job wasn't done properly, or we have a problem with the piston in terms of the piston rings, because sometimes you can have a little bit of glazing on the cylinder walls, and that would actually throw the compression off. I think the compression ratio is it's maybe you'll probably be getting like about 55 or 60 psi out of those 2 cylinders. So maybe what we need to do is take it apart and put a straight edge on it, because it is an aluminum block, and like I said, she overheated to the point where the head gasket blew. In the middle where it separates the 2 cylinders, kind of like this is a head gasket right here. So the gasket blew in the middle right here, right, on all the cylinders and all in the entire engine. So we figured we could have got away with just replacing the head gaskets and sending the cylinder heads out to have a valve job done on it. We did that. The vehicle did start. It did run. We drove it around, but I couldn't give that to the customer. It wouldn't be. It was shaking because that 1 or 2 cylinders was missing. So we definitely couldn't market that to the customer. So this is like a head gasket for a V8, but I just want to use that as a demonstration. Go right back there. So we're gonna take this apart, and we're actually going to see if we can figure out. It's a lot of work, believe me. By the time I'm done with this, there'll be a lot of parts on the floor. I have never seen an engine with so much parts, to be honest with you. All right, let me just get this engine frame out of here, and I'll kind of position this engine a little bit better so we can probably have a better view. All right, bear with me. Okay. Wow, so we have to get this all set up. I don't know how far we can get to today, but we should be at least be able to get the cylinder heads off. It's going to be kind of a long video because no one's holding the camera for me. Just going to lower that. Disconnect that. Let's pull this back. And get that engine hoist out of the way. I can position this a little better so you guys can see. How about probably right over here? Right? Right over there. I'll pull the two cars to the back. Just in case I need to get around there. All right. So first thing we're going to do is probably release the hoisting mechanism right here, so we can actually get access to the supercharger, because we have to drain the oil first, then we'll attempt to take the supercharger off. Take off the supercharger. We put this over here. We need to be running around this engine. I don't think I want this in the way. Set that right up there. All right, where are we? Okay, there we go. The left side cylinder head, we're going to stop it first. I hope you guys kind of follow the story in terms of what we did to try to rectify it. So a lot of bolts and screws, man. That's the Range Rover for you, baby. Be the Range Rover. All right, so we need to drain the oil, but as of right now, we're gonna leave the oil in there. We're not gonna be doing any flipping of the motor, flipping it back and forth. And hopefully that would save us from actually having to get rid of the oil. So we'll take the plastic, bring the element tubes off of it. Get that out of there. All right, here goes number one. You know, when I'm doing these jobs, sometimes I like to keep the door shut, but I have a lot of trolls that come in, so if you do see one of them, just don't, you know, they're gonna try to interrupt me, so, you know, I should keep the door shut. All right, it's gonna be lots of parts. Let me position this card over here properly. I'll put the parts on the floor for now. Let's leave the card right there. Leave them right there. Like I said, we're working with number one. So this is the supercharger. I've had this previously taken apart because I had to swap parts from this motor over to the actual motor that we installed in the customer car, and the customer went off with that one. So, especially the water outlet hoses, they come plastic. And when we initially did this engine for the customer, we wind up putting in the metal ones just because she had an overheating situation. We didn't want that to happen again. So the metal ones is actually stronger than the plastic ones. All right, set it down on the ground. Make sure all these screws are off. In order to gain access to that, you have to remove the supercharger. So, okay. I wonder if we can pick up the whole, yeah, we can pick up the whole charger. Let's grab the whole charger. All right, like I said, I already previously took the bolts out. So the charger goes off. Uh-oh, I'm gonna do the old school way. Yep. Yep. The old school way. And it's gonna be the old school way of doing things there. You know, it's got a job, requires you to do it early in the morning. That way you don't have no trolls bothering you. Okay. Lift this right off. Right off the top. Then we'll go after the rear supercharger here. Here comes the supercharger. Set that down on the ground. Now here's the motor right there, right? That is the engine. Remove the gaskets. Let's just use the removal tool here real quick. All right, so 8mm. 8mm. Big gaskets. You can handle it with the supercharger there. Get that harness off right there. Roll that to the side. Roll it to the side. I'm making a video, guys. If you don't want to be famous, don't be away. All right, I'm going to use the T30 here to get the coils out. That's the ignition coils. Get them right out of there. Let's investigate. This you. Get the coils out of there. 10mm, take out the fuel rail. Get the fuel rail out. With the injectors. It's out. Set that aside also. All right, now we can go for the going to be 10 millimeters. So valve cover today. Let's see, 5 and 5 and 10, 15 bolts for the valve cover. Take the valve cover off, 10 millimeter. All right. You do have to be careful. Give it a couple of taps, and it comes right off. That is the valve cover. Let me see, 5, and 5 is 10, 15, it's about 16 bolts for the valve cover. That's our left valve cover. Set that down on the ground. Now, we're going to go in the front of it here and try to remove the front timing cover. We'll keep the solenoids in. Let's try to get the front timing cover off. I can do this with my eyes closed with these motors. Just because I've screwed up so many times. Take it off. I do think it has about 5 volts for each side, for the left and right side of the timing cover. Just get a small screwdriver, stick it on the side, and just try it like this. Shears off. That's the timing cover. We're going to take apart the other side, but not right now. We'll just leave that. Let me just not take this phone call here. You know? We're not going to take this phone call. Don't be busy. That's why we always recommend to do them early in the morning so we don't get disturbed. All right. I'll tell you what. We'll break it down to the, just make it a badge out of, take all this belting off, supercharged belting, and then unfortunately we're going to have to go all the way down if we're trying to make sense of what we're trying to do. Take it apart. Take it apart! 10 millimeter. There you go. Yeah, take it apart. Call you back in 2 hours. Yeah, so we gotta take it apart. Yeah. Right. Take that off. 13 millimeter is the next bolt. Right here. This is the housing for the radiator fan. That's the housing for it. Very expensive right there. Whenever you want. ever need one. All right. Two tension is off. Set that aside. We will go after the tensioner, the harmonic balancer. Go after the balancer. Get that out of the way. Harmonic balancer. Hope I have the right text for it. Look like the right one. And because I'm taking that, I might have to drain the fluid. The engine oil, yes. Alrighty. That's off. But there's another pulley behind it that we're gonna have to press on. So set that aside. It's gonna be a 24 millimeter. That's gonna have to be a left-hand thread. Alrighty. 24 millimeter. Left-hand thread, and then we're gonna be pressing that out. There you go, see that? Come right up. Down on the ground, we just leave this here. You have to get a special socket to kind of suck off the harmonic balancer here. Something that I hate. It's gonna be wild. What did I do? Looking for my puller set. I forgot what I used to do. That's when I did that down. Puller set right there, I think so. Looking for a puller set to get that off. I forgot the one that I usually use. All right, guys, we have so many tools. I'm just gonna pause the video. Yeah, sorry, I had to pause the video because I had to get a tool set. It is the tool set to pull off the harmonic balancer. Didn't know where it was. That's the thing about a mechanic. Why a lot of young guys don't want to do it anymore, because you need so much tools. It's actually It's depressing trying to become a mechanic or try to start to be a mechanic. Because the amount of tools you're going to need, the cost of the tools is just so much that there's no way that you'll be able to be profitable in a short amount of time. You know? So that's why a lot of young guys who are a lot smarter than us are not getting into business. You know? They're not getting into business because they cannot afford to buy the tools. They cannot afford to buy the tools. So we'll put this here. And then we'll get this on. So we get it pulled off. Pull off that hermetic balancer, maybe. All right, let's get that started there. Push on that right there. So that is a 14 millimeter. Push on it. 15. 16 or 15? 16 down there. I'll do like this. All right, let's try this. That is too weak. Need some more power. Get that hole loose. That's 17. There we go. All right, let's suck it right off. Right off of where it's supposed to be. I'll show you guys that hermetic balancer in a minute. All right, that's the balancer right here. Remember guys, left hand tread, you're gonna pull it apart and it comes off. Right. Let's put the two back together. There. Bolt right there. 1, 2. Have to improvise your own tools sometimes. Well, you don't gotta go out and buy a Range Rover harmonic balancer tool. It would be nice if you have it, but it'd be expensive. But you can get a regular Harbor Freight gear puller set, like this right here, and finagle it, and you can get that balance off. He goes over here. All right, like, when we put this together, we put brand new timing chains and all that stuff in there. So, you know, it was a waste, you know. We're gonna try to see if we can salvage the timing chain at least, you know. So, before further ado, let me try to drain the oil. That way we don't go too crazy here. We'll try to drain the oil. Let me get things set up. This is brand new oil. I don't intend to waste it. So I'll get my little drain plug here and see if that'll work for me. Drain bucket, I should say. I'll go down here and then we'll get this all drained up. drain plug fell right in the fucking bucket. That's some bullshit. Fell in the bucket, man. I got a fucking magnet there would be nice. Or maybe mess. Try that. The drain plug fell right in the bucket, so luckily we were close to the cart where we can actually get a magnet and put it in there and drain it out. Alright. So we put 6 quarts in, it looks like we only got fucking 5 out of it. Might have been a lot of blow by because of how the motor's running. Alright. Together. Put that back together. Alright, so the oil is now drained. We can go ahead. Get a drain bucket here. We can now go ahead and I guess take the vacuum pump off. Let's go ahead and do that. Take off the vacuum pump. With 2 bolts. A little bit of oil. I was expecting oil to come out of that. But I didn't see any oil. That's good news. Vacuum pumps off. Vacuum pump is off. And we could expose the terrain here a little bit more. We'll take off the timing cup. I think I want to go faster. Want to go a little faster, baby. Here we go, 8mm. Don't see it. That's fine. I go a little faster here. You know? We're not speeding up the time. Just go faster. All right. Here comes the timing cover. The cover is off. Voila! The timer chain is now exposed. Timing cover. All right, we got our timing chain installed and all that stuff. Like I said, we're just concentrating on the left cylinder head, right, for now. Let's see if something went wrong with that one first. Let's just concentrate on the left side first. So that's the side which we have the issue. And these are the tensioners, common failures right here. Timing chain tensioners on the Range Rovers. For $35 or $65 part, you can wind up losing the whole engine for that. All right, this timing chain should be free. It's going to be 10mm. Just get these 2 off. Be 3 bolts. Here comes the timing chain. Guide. snatch this one off. Should come right off. This yes, here we go. Try not to break them. They're brand new. Okay, it goes left side guide. Gotta make the chain nice and loose, or you can actually pop the chain off. But before we do that, I think we're gonna need to remove this other guide right here. Yes. A lot of work just to get that tiger chain out, guys. And you gotta know what you're doing. If you don't know what you're doing, forget about it. Don't force anything. Give it some time, it'll come out. Might not be able to pass that one until I get that cam out. So, that's our chain. One thing that allows us to pass it. We're gonna take out this oil breather tube right there. Let's get that out of the way. There you go. Screw right here. And two screws. This one only has one. It has one right there, so bend that out of the way. This one only has one, so. We got number two. Two. I don't know how the fuck I'm seeing one, but should have been two. Right there. Should have been two screws. I got one. There's one. Yeah, there goes one right there. There ought to be two. There ought to be too many. Oops. Break that loose a little bit, guys. Oh, we're in trouble now. We're in trouble. We're in trouble now. Find a way to get that off properly. Caps here. Nope. Move. All right. We will try a different way. That's how it is sometimes. Starting to get a little hot in here, so. All right, so we'll take the cam bolts off. We should, but there's another way we can do it. We can take the cam loops off. Let's just do that. Crack them first. Careful with the camshafts, guys. They could break on you. Good. One. Making a video.
Sorry?
I'm online, making a video.
Oh, so you come in?
No, I can't help you today.
Oh, you can't help
Yeah.
me?
I'm making a video.
Oh.
Yes.
Um,
So that's just how it's at here right there. Ooh. All right. Let me pause it 1 second. Just got distracted by custom. So we're back on the job now. Let's try to take this out. I'm removing the valve caps, the camshaft holders. That's what they look like right there. Exhaust camshaft right there. Okay. Okay, let's remove the. Let's remove the. These are the lashers, they call them, like a valve adjusters. Well, okay. Have everything broken down. Now we'll try to take out the other guide right here. Set that down in the corner. We're supposed to take this out right here. We'll try to get that out. So using a different method, the screw strip. So we have to use some technical way of getting the screw out, right? We'll try to use a turbo socket to get that screw out. Let's try that. Let's try that. Yeah, that should work. That should work. Yeah, that should work. Gotta remember to get rid of that screw. That's the screw right there. And now you can pull this up. Pulling up on this is a breather tube. They make this right here that goes all the way down into the oil pump strainer area. They could just simply make a dipstick so you can check the oil in this car, because these vehicles, they drink oil sometimes and the customer don't know, because the oil level gauge, which is electronic, usually give you a lot of false readings. So sometimes you don't even know how much oil in the engine. They can manufacture this for like $5 with a dipstick, old school. You have to lose an old engine for that? That'll make no sense. But accountants is who making vehicle right now, not engineers. All right, so we are there. As you can see, just get this back piece off right here. Screws everywhere, baby. Screws everywhere. That's why I like making these type videos when no one's around to distract you. Like I said, you do get a lot of trolls sometimes. You know? You do get a lot of trolls sometimes that you don't want to get in the way, you know? Like that. there. Get that off. We're gonna go 10 millimeter. Get that in there. And we are going to need a special socket to get the cylinder head bolts off. I think it's an Allen 10, if I'm not sure, to get that bolt off. Allen number 10. I think it's somewhere down here. Whoa, 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 whoa. Right there. Boy. So this is one of them. Allen 10. What that looks like. Little hex head tool. All right, so I'll get that in there. So just a couple of taps. Just a couple of taps. You'll get the so pick this head up with the manifold still attached to it. Take it off. All right, there we go. That's one, two, three. Well, luckily I had it apart already, so sometimes these bolts they bake themselves on here, and you're not able to get them apart. So things are going pretty smooth, which I like. I like. Yeah, sometimes it can give you a hard time to crack. It can give you a hard time to crack. Let's see how these ones behave. All right. You can hear them, right? They put about 70 psi worth of torque, but there's a torque procedure to do. 70 pounds worth of torque. All right, so they're moving. Okay, last one. Then there was one. I couldn't tell you how many times we do stuff and we get to the last thing, and then the fucking last one gives us a hard time. And then there was one. Alright, looks like we don't need this. Set that aside. We get the big tool here. 2 10 millimeters in the back. Pull that up. Maybe this head is coming right off. Right off. Where is our 10? Get in there. That I know I just had somewhere. 10 millimeter. Socket. Alright. Come up. 2 last bolt, 2 last pin. Set that aside right here. So now, we just take all these head bolts out. Remove all of them. Take all the head bolts out. We gotta make sure that we don't remove one and everything's come flying at us. That wouldn't be good. Those are all the head bolts. So now it's the moment of truth. We should be able to just lift this head right off of the engine. So try it. Comes still in the head, right off of the motor. We still have it attached to an O2 sensor. Okay, that's apart. And I forgot to do one thing. I should have tested the cylinders before I took it apart. All right, no problem. That's the head gasket. You can see they were new head gaskets. Hardly haven't even used it, you know. Let's set it down here for now. We'll do a little bit of investigating. See if we have a bent valve or something, you know. Does not appear to have any bent valves. You know. The plugs are good, the plugs are not bent. This should explain the misfire. You know. So if I had a straight edge, I could put a straight edge on top of this block right here to determine whether or not we have a bad, like you put a straight edge on it, I'll kind of show you what I'm talking about. If we had a straight edge, we could have put a straight edge on the block, like that. And then what we would do, we'll use a feeler gauge to go up on the head to see if we have any warpage. You know? We might have warpage, I couldn't tell. Like I said, she overheated this engine very, very badly. Unfortunately, we're stuck with trying to figure out. We can see that they're all clean, so they're leaking like inside of the piston itself. And I'll just bring it over here. Inside of the piston itself, we can see where the water marks are actually clean, which is telling us that. I'll just move the camera over here so you can be able to see a little bit more. Yeah, if we look down inside of the cylinder heads, inside of the cylinder block, I should say, it's a little clean, and we're able to see where the water is probably impacting the engine itself. Well, that's a score, that's a crack. We've got a straight line, I couldn't tell. There's something in here in the straight line. You know, straight lines is not always the best thing to see. Whenever you have a straight line, in this situation, you could say it's a crack. You know, the block itself. Yeah, it cracked. They crack. Block is cracked. Sucker. Oh, mother sucker. They are cracked. Yep. Found the problem. Block is cracked. There's another block over here, and right in the corner, you can see. This also belongs to a Range Rover. And that one also has a crack, and the block is cracked in that one, which is also a 6-cylinder. So the block is also cracked in that one too. So whenever they overheat, this is what they're actually doing. Oh my God, so yeah, they're cracking, you know. This is what they're doing here. They're cracking, my goodness. That's what's going on with it. Yep, that's a cracked block. I can feel the ridge on the on the freaking, to feel the rain on the shit. Yeah, yeah, crap. Not so much that one, this one right here. The sky's a crack. This one here is definitely cracked for sure. Let me fix that. And a crack or a score? It's a crack. I would say that's a crack. I would definitely say that's a crack. That's not a score, that's a crack. All right, so we got a cracked block. There's nothing we can do with that. Which would have been smart is if they instead of making this stuff so solid, they could have make it in a way where you could remove the seat, the piston sleeve. If you could have changed the sleeves, you could have been, you would have definitely be a lot better off. But knowing how smart they are, you cannot change the cylinder walls. It's molded onto the block. Um, you just can't change it. That's the problem with it. You can see the water coming in here in this cylinder. This one might not be so bad because I don't see any. Oh, so on this side might just be okay, cracked. Yes. It might just only be one cylinder on this one, and this number 5. I thought number 5 had a problem. Yep, see that? Okay. You hear that noise? Wow. All right, guys, so that is the update on the Range Rover engine problem that we had. The customer's happy. We're stuck with trying to get this vehicle put back together. The vehicle is on the outside, the one which we want to use. I'll give you guys an update on it. Dig around and try to find the right situation again of where I can be able to get an engine to put back in this vehicle. It's too good of a vehicle to get rid of. All right, thanks for watching, man. I know this was a pretty long one, but thank you very much for watching.